Today I wear a little bit bad shirt. It has a green stuff on it, and I'm behind the green screen, so I had to find some red blanket. And that's the first funny thing which happened to me today. Except the renaming of me by position, but it's fine. So my talk today will be about ScandiPWA, and we'll get a little introduction into it. I'll tell you what it is, how you can set up it in 5 minutes, and later I'll show you some cool coupons and best practices to get ahead really quick. So yeah, let's switch to my awesome presentation. And yeah, let's go. So the ScandiPWA beginner guide. So why you should even care about this product? Well, because other people do. And you can see we have quite a lot of installations today, 3,000 installations per month. And we see that the composer, the packages.com graph isn't lying. We are indeed a popular solution today. And yeah, this is the statistics of our open source package, ScandiPWA source, which is a theme for Magento 2. But let's get a little bit deeper into understanding ScandiPWA. Let's define it. Yeah, let's define it in the best possible way. So the short definition consists of 5 very important points. So first, it's fastest theme for Magento 2. So we are a theme in Magento which installs as a Magento theme, and we are built for developers. So we really took our time to make sure your experience will be the best. We follow the practices from Magento to make your migration from Magento 2 to our front end easier. Well, again, why migration to our front end? Well, that's because we are a tiny single page application bundling just 150 kilobytes of code. And as well, we are an extensible solution, which comes and provides you more than 30 plugins, and the amount of them are rapidly growing. There is a specific marketplace for that, but we'll tell you about this solution a little bit later during this presentation. And yes, the last and final thing is that we are a middleware-less solution, I would say, and that pretty much means that we provide you no additional services between your Magento 2 instance and your front end. This means you can not worry about the integrity of your data. It will be fresh and ready to go. So let's come next to a little demonstration of our adoption. Well, there are a lot of sites currently running ScandiPWA. That's the little part of them which I considered the latest. Like, one of them is not the latest, one of them is just one I'm specifically proud of. That's the Technodome, and others are launched by the partners of ScandiPWA, the agencies, which do awesome stuff with it. So why are those agencies pretty much able to do such different implementations, and why do they choose ScandiPWA for their development? Well, the answer to this question consists of 2 points, and the first one is because we allow theming, and the second is because we are pluggable. But let's talk a little bit deeper about both of them. What does themable means? Well, themable means that you can just create a file under the same folder, and just like in Magento 2, it will preference the original file, and you can write your own new styles in it. And even more, you can reuse the original logic, and we will take a look at the examples later on. Not only that, we have a plugin mechanism, which is very powerful. It allows you to choose any class or function and plug in around it, like we did in Magento, but there we generated an interceptors and whatnot. But here we can pretty much choose any function and decide to plug in into it. But we'll talk about and show the examples of such extensions and plugins later on. But first, we have to install a theme. So today, because of time limitation, I want to be going into setting up this on my local, because my computer isn't powerful enough to handle like OBS Studio streaming, then the Google Chrome, and then the installation of NPM packages alongside. It will be very laggy, but not worry not. I have prepared a little gives for you. So the first thing you need to do before you get started with ScandiPWA is to make sure you have a Node.js installed on your machines. You can also have a Yarn, but that's an optional dependency. We support both Node and Yarn as a package and the npm as a package managers. And here, if I lower my head down somewhere, yeah, that means that you can use those following constraints of Node version. So if you're matching them, then you can pretty much go ahead and try installing yourself a fresh copy of ScandiPWA. And to do it, you pretty much need to write npx create ScandiPWA app and or yarn create ScandiPWA app. And the following part is the name of the folder. And what will this command do? It will bootstrap you a template of ScandiPWA theme. So then what you will be able to do next after this command completes, it will take you about 15 to 30 seconds. Then you will be able to start the application. Well, you will just need to enter it and yarn start or npm start. And what this will do, it will open you the ScandiPWA version 3, or one of the latest versions we currently have, and you will be able to change it. Yeah, so that's how easy the setup is. There is nothing more to it. We have zero configuration setup at this moment. So yeah, you just plug it and play. So very easy. Now it's time for theming it. Yeah, well, you will get a copy. You will have some files in it. But how to start with it? Yeah, there are little files, but how to start? Well, then we come to theming and plugins. Well, let's start from theming because it's the first thing you might want to do. You don't like the header, you don't like the breadcrumbs implementation or product cards, you want to change the layout. Well, the override mechanism is here for you. What does the override mechanism do here, guys? Well, it allows you to override parent theme sources. And what this means is that ScandiPWA is parent theme based. So there could be from 0 to 10 parent themes, and you can write each on top, and they will try to fall back one to another sequentially. And as well, you can override the extension sources. So if we consider that you have some extension written, in example, the PayPal extension, and you dislike how the form looks, you can go ahead and change the style of it by, again, just creating a file under the same folder. So you can extend the original classes, and that's what makes the extension mechanism as powerful as it is right now. And because you can extend the original classes, you are not modifying the source code at all. And this is pretty powerful. So because you are not modifying the source code, you can do stuff like this. See an example. So you can extend the original logic. You can see that the parent theme is now available for you by the source component, and you can import some styles from it, extend this source styles, and pretty much override some methods. And we use the React class components to achieve it. So the core of the application is written in React classes, not React functions, just because we wanted to make sure you have the most advanced extensibility options. So let's take a look how this pretty much could work on your IDE. So in example, if you have the VS Code, you can scan those links. Let me get down. And the VS Code link is just the installation of VS Code. And then this part is a link to the Google Drive, where you can find the latest version of ScandiPWA VS Code extension, which is compatible to version 3, because there are multiple compatibility versions and multiple ways to style ScandiPWA frontend. So you need this specific version. So okay, you got this extension and this VS Code. You can get this later by browsing my slides. So yeah, what they allow you to do? Well, this. So you can see that the source folder is currently empty. Yeah, you can see this source folder with a git keep only inside of it. But then when you run command, which actually states extend ScandiPWA component, here in a second you will take a look. So I write extend ScandiPWA component, and it provides me a questionnaire asking what I would like to extend. Would I like to change a component, style, or container? And then you can see, boom, immediately it does apply the style. So that's pretty powerful feature. What pretty much allows you to not copy paste the whole source code and change just one specific thing you want to change. And because how we organized our architecture, our file structure, basically this process is that simple. You just find an element, you just inspect it in a Google Chrome, you copy its class name and search by file. As you might see, the class names of ScandiPWA are very flat. And this means that you can easily search by file. And what else you can notice is that files have this postfix, the .component or .container or .style. And when you search for a file name, it will give you the files with postfixes. So you will be so it will be very easy for you to find a specific file, choose it for override and style. So that's one reason why agencies choose us for implementation, because of our advanced themes, theming abilities, and easier migration. So you don't change the source code, you just upgrade to a new version. And if you follow the same, I would say, interfaces, like the method is the same method, then you are pretty much golden and the upgrade will not be that hard. Okay, but what's the second reason? Well, the second reason in our case are plugins. And plugins pretty much are a big and I would say huge thing nowadays, because what they allow you to do is literally change any part of the application logic. But well, you can extend it in a theme. Why to choose going for plugins? Well, because plugins allow you to write modules, pretty much encapsulated modules with your logic, which just consists of some plugins and maybe additional components you provide by plugging in inside of other components. And then you can distribute those modules. And we will speak a little bit more about the currently available modules and their distribution later on. But for now, you just have to make sure you understand that any function, any class, or pretty much anything in the application can be plugged around it. And your code, which you write, will be encapsulated in a module, and you will not modify the source code. You will just write a plugin around it. Amazing. So how does it look? It looks just like this. You can see that on the left side or on the right, depends. In the upper section of the slide, we can see that there is a class declaration of an application component, and it has some namespace in the very top, and that's a simple comment. And then down in the bottom section of the slide, we have this plugin file. And what it declares is essentially a mapping to a function. So we can see that the namespace is being used, and then the member property of this class is being plugged into. And we can see that in this current case, we are adding a new context provider, in this case, a Redux. So this actually allows us to build a pretty modular structure. And in the upcoming versions of ScandiPWA, you will see a huge splitting into tons and tons of modules, just like the Magento is, because currently ScandiPWA is a theme and it's pretty monolith. But in the upcoming versions, because of plugins, we will be able to split our theme into many different modules and then swap them on demand. But that's a future which we're not talking in this presentation, but it's very interesting and you can ask me more during the Q&A session. But for now, it's time to cover where you can share those amazing plugins. Well, the one awesome place where you can share and distribute more any plugin you create is the marketplace of ScandiPWA. So the marketplace.scandipwa.com actually allows you to publish any composer module. So I'm saying the composer module. Why so? Well, that's because you can write a plugin into the application and then share it alongside your composer module in the ScandiPWA folder of it. And that's a powerful feature, because now, just like in Magento 2, where you ship your modules with a folder called frontend in it, and it contains your frontend, you can share the same module with the folder ScandiPWA. And in case user has ScandiPWA installed, then this module will be taken and automatically applied. So your frontend is now so your extension now provides a frontend for ScandiPWA. So if you see this badge called ScandiPWA compatibility, this could mean on this marketplace, this means that this module only provides the ScandiPWA source code. But in case you see the full extension label just not visible, sadly, on this slide, this means that the application ships, or the module ships, both the ScandiPWA theme code and the PHP logic of the module itself. Well, amazing, very good. So where you can learn more about it? Well, today I haven't really got into writing a code, and maybe that was a mistake, because it's only 17 minutes now and we are coming to the end of my presentation. So maybe I will need to tell you something more. But if you want, guys, you can learn much more and about extending ScandiPWA, getting it started, debugging, and more by watching those videos. You can scan this QR code, right here, or search for ScandiPWA on YouTube, and there you will find a large set of tutorials telling you about why ScandiPWA exists and what it contains inside of it. You will learn more about how we consider you to write the components in a proper way so you keep them extensible and pluggable for the future. Where we'll tell more about the styling and the basic approach to our style organization, like BAM, and much more interesting things. And also you'll learn how to write extensions and make requests using the GraphQL to Magento 2. So if you are just a newbie here and you're considering a platform, might be so that ScandiPWA will serve your needs. And in case you decide to start learning ScandiPWA, we always have a support for you. So you can find our instructions for preparation and get certified, become an expert in ScandiPWA now with 50% off here. And this link will lead you to actually an awesome Google form where we will ask you to provide an email address. And after you enter it tomorrow, one of my colleagues will share you the 50% discount to the certification, and will provide you all the necessary links for getting expertise in this specific technology. So you will be pretty much golden, I would say, and will be able to share the knowledge among the community. Not only that, but we always encourage people to follow our weekly releases, because we pretty much are, I would say, focused on delivering rapidly and fixing bugs just when we see them occurring. So we, as a developing product, as a growing product, feel that the weekly releases are the best way currently to go. So we're doing this weekly, and you can always find our release information in the GitHub. And here is the link to ScandiPWA base repository, not base, it's base theme, I'm sorry. And that's the theme sources. And I would like if you guys go and start or go and watch. That's will help you to keep yourself updated. Maybe we will update you with modular ScandiPWA alpha, or maybe we'll update you with something even more interesting. But for now, that's where you can watch the upgrades in. Finally, join the growing community and ask your questions there, because for guys who are just starting, well, we have an awesome documentation and the manual, but it could be so some issue is still undescribed, or badly described, yeah, we think that our documentation could be improved. So if you have any questions, come to this awesome place where I and many other members of our core team give answers to many different questions you might just have. And yeah, I'm waiting. I cannot wait to see you guys there. So with that said, the prepared part of the presentation from my side is over. I actually thought I will have only 25 minutes of speech and 10 minutes for Q&A, but if we have more time for Q&A, I hope we can arrange it. So yes, what should we do next? Maybe I should switch to my Q&A session and open up some comments. Evgeny, are you still here? Maybe you can, yeah,
provide
me some more.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want, I've just texted to our chat, and everyone who wants may ask now their questions in chat, and I will read it for you. But we need to wait for it because now it's kind of empty. But anyways, thank you for your great presentation. It was awesome. I mean, it was super prepared and super nice looking and very informative. And that was, believe me, one of my best presentations I've seen during today.
Well, that very warms my heart. Thank you very much, Evgeny. It's a pleasure to hear it. Maybe you had some questions while we're waiting for a community to ask something.
Yes, sure. Of course I do. Maybe you will tell us a little bit more about where you're now, which city, and how do you like the whole format of the conference in online?
Oh, yes, sure. Currently, I am in Riga, and we are in just the same, I believe, the time zone as you guys in Kiev. Is this right? That's the Atwix is coming from the Kiev. Yeah. So.
Yeah, from Ukraine, not exactly from Kiev, but from Khmelnytsky.
Oh.
Yeah, right next to.
I'm really sorry.
No worries.
Really sorry. But what I mean is that I'm from Riga, and we have just the same time zone as you guys. And how I like the new format. So the site you chose for hosting, the hopen.to actually is pretty interesting. Previous conferences and meetings I have attended were made in a Zoom and then transferred and I would say broadcasted to YouTube or some other platforms. And the experience was a little bit interesting. In case of you feel like participating your normal daily stand-up, yeah? And here it's a little bit different. You join some session. There is a man who is greeting you, and that's pretty neat. I like it. I would consider participating in one more such event even after the quarantine because, well, that's pretty useful format, I would say.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I do appreciate this from my side and from the side of our company. And yes, you're totally right about the time zones. And actually, we have the same here. All the sessions will be recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube after, and will be available for everyone. And as well with the questions, we've got chat rooms. And everyone who didn't manage to ask any questions now will be able to do it during these and further sessions, and will be able to reach you and all other speakers in chats and everywhere, even in YouTube after.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
And you forgot to mention one very important thing. Remember the networking part. It's amazing. When I heard about it, you can join some man on this conference like randomly. It was the thing to do. So I hope to see someone of you there, and that's an awesome addition. So I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope to meet you there too. And also everyone may visit our sponsors stands and may have a chat in there with the companies who presented there. So the overall functionality is pretty awesome. And yeah, I do hope that we will meet in networking part of this event. Thank you. I believe we may finish now, and everyone who would like to ask questions will meet you in the chat room. And maybe I believe there will be even more people there, and it will be even more interesting to get into the dialogue in there.